When I made my video saying I was going to start making videos again, I showed you guys this piece of hardware right here, and I said, okay, name it. And a lot of you guys came up with different names of what it could be, but nobody got the right one, and I'm not surprised. So let me show you what it is. This is a Nasty Boys SI. There's the name engraved on the side over here. It's a Nelson-based pump gun, but it's also a Bushmaster clone. Back in the day, if you played tournaments, you used basically one of two guns. You used the Piranha Long Barrel, or you used the Bushmaster SI. Now, nobody made copies of the Piranha Long Barrel because nobody could get the voodoo down. It's voodoo. There's a voodoo magic to that gun. But everybody seemed to make their own version of the Bushmaster, including this one. There were easily 20, 25 different versions of that style of paintball gun out there. So this is the one that I got. I got this used, and this is the first gun I ever owned. Been through a lot. So let me give you a quick tour of this. First of all, fixed barrel. That thing is not going anywhere. And you can see the anode is completely gone where the pump is. You don't want to know how many shots have been fired out of this thing. Almost all the screws in this are gone. Well, no, wait. This one's original. That's an original one. That's the second original one. I think that's an original one too. But everything else, gone. It happens over the years. Now, there are a whole bunch of other things. There was a rail on the top here, but actually the screws for that got lost, and I got the rail sitting in the hard case. Matter of fact, let me show you guys some of the stuff that's in the hard case, actually. Some of the other things that I've gotten for this over the years, including this. This is a flash suppressor mod. Yeah. Made for me by the guys who are now known as Air America. It just looks pretty. It doesn't actually do anything. And you can't use it anymore because the screw that was on there is long gone. I have no idea where it is. But you can kind of see how badly mauled this made it. And actually, where is it? There it is. You can kind of see right there one of the holes that was caused by that screw. But it looked cool. That's all I can say about that. Something else I have in here. One of these. I'm not going to find one of these anymore. If you do, I'd really wonder about the field that you're playing at. This is an aluminum knurled barrel plug with all the O-rings attached to it still. And yeah, a lot of people didn't like these things because it's gonna mar the inside of my barrel. But the one thing about it is once it was in place, that ain't coming out. No way. At least until you wrench the thing out. Let's see if I can do this on camera. There we go. It was a bear getting this thing out of there, and that's actually why I attached this to it. Originally, this was an ICS barrel plug. But I took the one tag off of it and I replaced it with this from a different barrel plug because I always kind of figured nobody's going to see this, but they are going to see this. So yeah, if they miss this from across the woods, they're blind. It shouldn't be out there. Some other stuff I've got in the hard case over here. This, the original stick feed that I had. And this just slides right in there and sits like that. Now, like I said in the other video, nobody ran with it straight up like this. Everybody kind of slung it back so it was a little bit streamlined. Problem with this though, yeah, you put any weight on this and it's going to slide all over the place. Now, I could have put tape on that thing, but I really didn't want to put tape inside of the feed tube. That just would not have worked for me. Honestly, I don't have the 40-round ammo box. That's down in the storage bin area. But I still do have this big Allen wrench of doom. And this is how you adjust the velocity. You put that down the barrel, and inside of the bolt there is a screw that you can actually fine-tune the tension like that. Basically it spins. And then you use these screws on the side basically to lock it in place. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to do to that inside screw there. But it does hold, so that's why we kept on doing it. And I'm going to show you one other part of all this because there's not really much else in this case. And it is actually the case that I'm keeping all this stuff in. Right here. This is how you can tell an old school player because they got the hard-sided case. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that doesn't exist anymore. You know, there you go, right over here, right over here, right over here. And to give you an idea of how old this thing is, right there. Yeah, that's a point of bragging for me. So most of the places that are on this probably don't even exist anymore, actually. But yeah, a little bit of an old school romp for you guys. So that's what that gun was. It was a Nasty Boys SI, Bushmaster clone, all that other good stuff. So that's it for now. See you guys later in the week.